We've seen something that not very many people have seen. It's a completely secret world, in fact. We've been shown the first gameplay footage from Funcom's The Secret World, the new big MMORPG from the makers of Anarchy Online and Age of Conan. So what have we actually been seeing?
Darkness, and a world, and secrets.
And undead.
Yes.
Plenty of undead.
It's very much based in, inspired by Lovecraft's Cthulhu mythology. You have bits of Stephen King and pretty much every major horror story or series or movie that you've seen in the last 100 years or so.
And then the location that we got to see, apparently the first location that you will be encountering in the game, is called Kingsmouth. It's a main location in Maine of the US, and small town USA. Basically the fog came, took the people away, and they came back and they wanted your brain.
Yes, yes they did. And in Kingsmouth it's a bit of a wordplay with H.P. Lovecraft's Innsmouth and Stephen King, of course. A lot of detail has gone into creating this. It feels like a real world. You have garden chairs lying around, you have children's toys, you have
rustic cars.
Exactly, and it looks like it's been decaying for a while, but it feels like a real world. And you have little puns like Elm Street and Arkham Avenue and things like that. So they've put a lot of attention to detail, and they incorporated a lot of horror fiction references.
And it seems like story is an important thing for them as well. It's not just about getting a quest and clicking through, scrolling through some text that describes why you are collecting 10 things. It's actually cinematics that sort of introduce each quest to you, and the characters in this town, Kingsmouth, they have personalities, and they just want to survive, basically. Yeah.
And there's some secret underneath. It might have looked like a perfect setting, white picket fences and neighborhood barbecues, but under the surface, something has been brewing for apparently for quite some time. And
it's no coincidence that the fog came and turned this town into a ghost town.
No, the fog didn't choose Kingsmouth at random. No. And as one of the characters say in one of the cinematics, now you see the dirt that's been covered under all these coats of white paint.
Yeah. And should we talk a little bit about the combat? Because we got to see some examples of combat. I think that's one of the things that really sets The Secret World apart from other MMOs.
First of all, it looks very chaotic, and there's a lot of things going on all the time. You don't level up, you don't choose a specific class, but you can acquire different form of powers. And you have active powers and passive powers. And
you choose 7 of each.
Yeah, at any given time.
Yeah.
And
well, I think it's like in the beginning of a mission or at different places that you can choose it. So
exactly. So if you want to be a healer for one mission, you can do that. And your active powers, they're basically the spells that you cast. And
then the passive power augment those spells, so they do something else or they help you out in some way.
You can combine your own active spells, you can combine your teammates, their spells, and it really intertwines quite a bit. And you have
there's a lot of layers to it.
Exactly.
And that's also where the different states come into play. You can put your enemies into detrimental state, or you could cast things to put your teammates in a positive state, and that sort of augments their abilities too. I think something they showed was that someone put someone on fire, and then another character threw a grenade at him.
Yeah.
And that sort of augmented that attack, so it was more powerful.
Exactly.
So there's a ton of different combinations like that, a lot of things to explore, and really the thing that has me excited is that you can do all those combinations, but you can do one set of combinations one night, and then you can throw it all out, and it would be a completely different character, and you try different combinations the next night, and sort of, it's your game to sort of customize the way you want to play it each night, each and every night, and yeah, It doesn't speak to the normal MMO type of grind, but it speaks more to a sort of active gameplay.
Yeah,
active player.
Feels more like an action adventure than it does an MMO actually. So
I think there are MMO features to it that they didn't show off at this presentation. I think there's a lot of those deeper things that your typical MMO player would want to explore. But I think that's what they wanted to show was the difference between the secret world and your typical MMO.
Yeah.
And they really succeeded in that. So we're excited about it. We have no idea when it's coming out.
No, it's coming. In the future.
Yes, dark days are coming.
Yeah, they are.
That's the tagline. So it's a little less secret now, but you'll have to wait some more to play it yourselves.